Right, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a simple animation. It will be a translate animation, which is simply movement. When you open Flash, create a new action script 3 and then you'll have the usual canvas appear in front of you. What I'm going to do then is import to library. So I need something to animate, so I'm going to go to import to library, and I'll just get whatever picture for the moment. Sometimes it does take a little bit long to actually get importing. But just don't go crazy with your clicking, otherwise it will just slow it down completely. So let me just click on dog, and that has been imported to my library. So remember, your library is here. If you can't see your library, you go to window and then actually load up your library. So this is my image, dog.png. I'm just going to put this onto my stage, and I think it's actually a massive file at the moment. Yeah, so it's quite big, so I'm just going to Control- to zoom out. Access my free transform tool, which is the third one down. I'm just going to hold down shift as I downsize because I don't want it that big. Let me zoom in now to see what I've got. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so I've added it to my stage. Now before I go ahead and actually animate it, I have to convert it to a symbol. So in Flash, if you want anything to move or rotate or whatever, or fade in, fade out, it has to be a symbol. So you have to convert it to something called a symbol. And you do that by simply right clicking, converting to symbol, and then you go ahead and simply rename it. So I'm just going to call it dog because that's what it is. And the type, just change it to or leave it as graphic. Okay. Now in your library you will see it appear with a circle, square and triangle, so that differentiates what a symbol is and what a normal picture is, just so you know. Okay, I'm just going to take this off my stage and put on the dog symbol instead. Okay, there you go. So there's my dog now added to the stage. So I'm now going to go ahead and start the animation process. Right, your timeline should be open at the bottom. If it's not, remember, go to window and then select timeline, and then it should actually load. You can see that in frame 1 I've got like a black circle. Let me just move to the side. I've got a black circle within that frame. This is something called a keyframe, which is like a key setting or a key moment in whatever it is you're going to be doing. I'm just going to go ahead and click on frame 40. I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert keyframe. The shortcut to inserting a keyframe on Windows systems is F6. I'm pretty sure it's the same on the Mac systems, but yeah, so just go ahead and right click insert keyframe. That's the easiest way. So all I have done is told Flash that this picture starts off looking like this here, and at the moment it looks like this here, but you can make it be or move or fade in or fade out or somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do this thing called tweening. Tweening is short for in between, and it basically means filling up the frames within 2 key points with whatever frames to complete the animation or whatever. So this is my keyframe 1, this is my start keyframe, this is my end keyframe, and these in the middle are going to be basically sorted out by Flash. So that this is the tween I'm going to apply to make the animation. So let me just go ahead and right click and create classic tween. So that's what you're going to do as well for simple motion. And you'll see that an arrow appears saying that something happens from here to here. Now as you can see, I'm moving the slider up and down. You can also press the play button. Nothing's happening at the moment. Well, it's because I didn't really say, or I didn't specify for anything to happen. I haven't moved it or anything, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to click on the end frame. So make sure you know what frame you've got selected, because this is where people normally mess up and, you know, they click the wrong frame and then they move their image and it's doing it at the wrong time and it's jumping back and forth. So just make sure you're very aware of what's going on in front of you. Oh, also notice I didn't rename my layer. Bad practice. Let me just name it dog. Right, so I'm going to click on my last frame, make sure this is selected, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to and my shift key to just move that along there. And I think you can probably guess what's going to happen now. There we go. So this is my animation so far. So my dog has translated or moved from the left position, which was at frame 1, to the right position, which is frame 40. If you want, you can extend this by doing stuff like this. You can actually pick up that frame. So all I did was click once and then click again. and it moves it along, so you can make it longer if you wanted to. So there you go, you can see it slow down a bit, or you can make it shorter, and normally you can. Let's see what this does actually when I go to halfway. Okay, so it has filled it up with something. Let's see what happens. It's just filled it up with whatever it was at the last position. You can always remove these frames anyway. Okay, that's just me playing around just to show you, because I know you're probably going to do it. Okay, so that's a very, very simple translation animation. When you want something to appear on screen, like say actually, let me take this off the screen. So I've clicked on frame 1 and I've gone the other way now. Here we go. So now it does this. So it comes from off of the screen onto the screen. Sometimes what you might want to do is have like a complete animation. I'm just extending it back to 40 so it's a bit longer. Here we go, this is what it looks like now. There we go. You might, for whatever reason, want it to come back again, and you can easily do that. But normally what happens with animations, something comes on and then it stays for a while. So let's just go up to frame 70, right click, insert keyframe, or F6 or the shortcut. So at the moment this dog comes in, at frame 40 it just stops, and then from frame 70 I'm just going to like send it off stage. Let's do a short send off. Let's just do it, let's do it up to 85. Okay, so remember, right click or insert keyframe via F6, and at this position this is here, at this position I want it to be off the page. And then you have to complete it by actually doing the tween. So create classic tween, and it does this. So the whole animation looks like this. Okay, so that's a very simple translation or motion or movement animation that you guys should be able to do. If you want to just see this animation away from this flash canvas, you can simply press Control and Enter. And it just loads it up in Flash Player, so you can just see it, how it would look like, because this is the actual size of your canvas. Oops, don't enlarge, actually it does that. Got rid of it, come back. There we go, sorry. Okay, so that's the first animation that you should be able to do. In the second video, you're going to be shown how to do a fade.